Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Tsung Kong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Tupten Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to Sentongma, Asongma, and Rahula. Simu, all Dhamma masters, Dhamma educators, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma instructors, Dhamma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, all disciples present here and over the internet, and our participating VIPs today are Accountant to True Buddha Foundation, Dharma Sister Teresa and her husband, Larry. Producers for Geni Diansang Shinten from CTI TV Taiwan, Dharma Sister Rebecca Suyachi. And ROC Overseas Chinese Compatriots Affair, Dharma Sister Winnie Xie and her husband. And the advisor to the Overseas Chinese Compatriots Affairs, Mr. Mai Xianhui. Member of the Sunny Line Dance Group, Dharma Sister Erica Chen. First, we would like to announce next Sunday, on October 22nd, Sunday at 3 p.m., there would be the Vajra Kilaya or Dorji Purba Homa fire offering ceremony. Vajra Kilaya Homa. And the mudra for Dorje Purba is you make the middle fingers upright, whether the other fingers interlace inward or outward. And the middle fingers are very straight, upright. That's the mudra of Vajrakilaya. If it's slightly curved, that would be the mudra of Yamantaka. And if the middle fingers are crossed, this would be Ragaraja's mudra. And separate, the middle fingers are separate, that would be Siddhigarbha's Bodhisattva, Vajra teeth mudra. So the difference, Vajrakilaya, Yamantaka, Ragaraja, Siddhigarbha, Vajra teeth, all are this mudras. The sixth syllable is the blue home for Dorje Purba. Mantra. The short mantra. So that's what we'd like to let you know, that next Sunday that would be of Dorje Purvas. And today we perform the Homa of Lion Face Dakini, Singamuka or Sentongma. So the Homa today has extremely tremendous power. And most importantly, Sentongma or Singamuka. Its origin comes from Prajna Paramita Buddha Mother and Dorje Patmu or Vajravarahi and Sentongma. So these three deities are the head of all Dakinis. So Prajna Buddha Mother, Dorje Patmu or Vajravarahi, and Singamuka or Sentongma are the head or the chief of all the Dakinis. And Vajravarahi has the Dhamma power to subjugate, and Singamuka also has the superpower to subdue or subjugate. Extremely powerful deity. Why? We use the lion face as a symbol, because the lion is the king of all animals. No one can exceed the lion. This is joke. Dogs were competing against each other to see who's the strongest. And there was this dog that always won over all other dogs. And one day, he saw a dog without hair lying under the roof, very lazy. And when this king of dogs walked by him, he did not stand up and show respect to him. So he challenged him. How come you're so lazy and you didn't show respect to me? And this hairless dog was slow and turned his head. And the king of dogs like, are you challenging me? Do you want to fight me? And the hairless dog said, sure. And they started to fight. And only for 2 strikes, the king of the dogs was soon beaten and lost. And he was so shocked because no other dogs ever beat him. And why is this hairless dog so strong and powerful? And then that dog said that before I lost my hair, everyone called me lion. So everyone called me lion. So lion was very strong, powerful, the king of all animals. He has tremendous, ferocious power. So the lion-faced Dakini is, of all Dakinis, she is the one with the strongest, tremendous, ferocious power. Sometimes only one deity descended, but today 3 deities descended, and they were the 3 great protectors of the Nyingmapa, and they were Sentongma, which was Singamuka or lion-faced Dakini, and Asongma or Ekadejati, and Rahula. Which they were the 3 great protectors of the red sect, Nyingmapa. All appeared together. So the ceremony today had extremely great, outstanding power. In the within the radius of 50 miles, all the evil spirits and demons, monsters would escape. They were all cleared from this radius of 50 miles. And this deity has two extremely important Dharma practice. Let me check here. At her heart chakra, can radiate a blue light, light razors, and the light razors are extremely sharp and circling, rotating around. As we all know, on October 3rd, 2016 at night, there were thousands, tens of thousands of demons, monsters, evil and ferocious spirits went to my house. And I did protection for myself by the akala on the four sides. This is doing protection, inviting akala to appear to protect, and with his hand holding the precious sword, and the two eyes glaring with ferocity, and the upper teeth, the fangs downward, and the fangs on the bottom teeth upward. So I did protection on the four sides this way with akala. And then I did the protection of Mahabala.
Om Mahabalaya, Hum Hum Pe. 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 都是在屋顶上，整个屋顶上。
And on the roof, they were all Mahabala, the great protector.
那天晚上，这个千军万马来。
So that night, when the thousands of soldiers and horses came,
蓝色的旋转的。
they appeared at the blue, revolving mantra wheel, flying and revolve around heads, and all the heads were chopped off, fallen to the ground. Then all this army of evil and demons, evil spirits and demons were all chopped off, all the heads chopped off to the ground, because X commanded to them, go and take care of Sangyen Lu. But they did not succeed. So those who came were all beaten to death. And with the very thin and sharp, like a razor lights, they all revolves and cut off all the heads of the ghosts and evil spirits. And there were several ghosts that escaped very fast. And good thing they went back to report. It was quite a bloody battle. And the corpses were like stacks of mountains. Ever since then, not even a single ghost or evil spirits, soldiers, demons, monsters from X ever dared to come find Grandmaster anymore. And I had called on them, if you dare, please don't run away. Please don't find my kind and tender disciples, but instead come find Grandmaster Lu. But why don't you dare to do so? Because Grandmaster has very powerful protectors, has this very razor-sharp light nets that revolves with sharp razors that go out, that went out and chop off all the heads. If they didn't run away, then they were all dead. So Singamuka has this blue light razors. By reciting her mantra, and this net of light goes out, then all the evil spirits and ghosts would be taken care of. And she also has a weapon, a Dharma implement. They didn't show that. And there's also Kachanka and Kapala, the curved knife. But there's also a Dharma implement that didn't show. And this Dharma implement is on the lion face. And it's symbols, like in the music group, they have symbols. Do you know what they are? The clashing symbols. So if there's a ghost coming, then you use that to crush the ghost. Then they become ground meat, and they would be dead. So if the head of the ghost dare to come, like Shaolin, the useless Shaolin, it's gone. So what's with this crash of the symbols? And okay, thanks. And also Zhongchun Yiwu with the crash of the symbols, and Du Bian Yilang, crash of the symbols, and Huang Jin Qian, crash of the symbols, and Yin Yang Zi, the crash of the symbols. They would all be deaf. Chang, 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 chang. So the 5 heads of ghosts, what's so big deal about them? If you dare, come find me. Don't go find my kind and gentle disciples. If you want to take care of, then take care of Seng Yen Lu instead. If you can't take care of Seng Yen Lu, then True Buddha School will be fine. So she has these two remarkable dharma. The Shingamukha using the symbols, and the heads of the ghosts would die, would be dead, would become ground meat. And then the other one is the blue mantra wheels that's razor sharp, like a net that can go out and chop off all the heads of the ghosts. So what's so big deal about X? Or the XX hall should be changed to small potato hall. Potatoes is quite big, should be like peanuts. Or baby peanuts. So the XX hall is the baby peanuts. It's like baby peanuts. With a mouthful, you're gone. With a bite, you would be gone. She thought that by worshipping or employing ghosts, then you've become the biggest one, but she did not know that the ones that can deal with ghosts the best is Grandmaster Lu. And she thought of herself as the greatest one. Actually, she's no big deal. She could not rise anymore. I don't want to play this game anymore. I don't want to play this game. It's meaningless to play with the ghosts. They just trick and they just play games on my kind disciples so that they don't sleep well at night. And then a few days later, the one that we talked about at noon today, at the eastern United States, in New Jersey. Okay, Lee. Please don't say the name. Someone by the name Lee. He or she was a volunteer at the X place. And after she's attached by the ghost, the ghost spoke on her or his ears and said, "Go buy a gun and kill people." So that's really horrible. You know the event in Las Vegas, I am still checking whether that was done by your ghost. And this Lee person from New Jersey, when I give the spiritual consultation, he or she told me, you know, I have a ghost attached to me. And I always have this thought, and there's a ghost saying things in my ears. Go buy the gun, go buy a gun, and just kill anybody you see. And he's trying to control it. He or she visualizes Grandmaster and recite Grandmaster's mantra to try to get rid of the thought. So your ghosts were really horrible, were really uncontrollable. And yet you still employ them? So I had no choice but to deal with you, because you were just too. Your behavior is just too much. You have harmed so many people so that they can't sleep at night, and they have interferences and disturbances, and they have thoughts of dying. And there are many people who heard the ghost said to go die. There are several people who have jumped off buildings, who have killed themselves. So it's gone this far, and yet you still try to worship and employ the ghost. And yet you said that this XX halls, the spirits there have become generals. And she said that that's a jumping stone to the double lotus ponds, that the XX hall is the same as the Pure Land of the Maha Twin Lotus Pond. You said all that. But can we allow that? No, no way. And she said, anyone that comes to Seattle, Lechang Temple, to request for repurification are traders. So what is repurification? Is that because you have been contaminated, so you come to Grandmaster's place to be purified again and to get rid of the contamination? That's called the repurification. And yet you claim that anyone that comes to Grandmaster's place for repurification are traders. What are you saying? You're trying to make them all to become ghosts? Now I am just befuddled. Am I the traitor, or are you the traitor? All of a sudden, I lost my direction. So now, am I the one that's your disciple? So is it she that took refuge in me, or I took refuge in her? So who's the traitor? X is the traitor. Oh, thanks for reminding me. How could she say such things? What kind of words? What kind of statement was she making? It's like that she claimed that anyone that comes for purification was a traitor. That's just too much. And then she also said that Lian Hua Chun Fei brainwashed Grandmaster. So Lian Hua Chun Fei brainwashed Grandmaster. So where's Lian Hua Chun Fei? Did I ever wash your hair? Did you ever wash my hair? But you're not a hair salon, so but she claimed that Chunfei brainwashed me. So that's no need to talk more about her. Our lionfish Dakini is really incredible. Look at her mantra. You know, the mantra chanting was very loud earlier. Actually, it shouldn't be like that. It's not allowed. You should have chanted inside your heart. It shouldn't be recited loudly, otherwise even the dragon beings would be scared away. And the rule is never to recite Singamuka's mantra near the ocean, because the dragons would be scared to death. Because her power is just remarkable, tremendous. So typically speaking, you can only recite this mantra silently inside your heart. And also the boomerang shield mantra, the reversing mantra is also incredible. In the future, when you recite this mantra, you can recite the boomerang shield mantra version of it. If she made the statement, go to Seattle and take care of the accountant of Seattle Temple, Reverend Lian Zi. What should Reverend Lian Zi do? She would jump even in the middle of the night. Then you recite the boomerang shield mantra. Then instead, X would be taken care of. There's not much time left. Only a few days left. Think about it yourself. Time is short. There's not much time left. So Sentongma's mantra is recited silently or softly or inside your heart. There is no need to recite it so loudly. Otherwise, all the ghosts and evil spirits within a radius of 50 miles all ran away, escaped, because we recited quite loudly earlier. And it said here, the Guru Padmasambhava in the forest was fighting with the 500 heretics, and they were all shaman who could also cast spells and recite mantra. And then Singamuka appeared and taught to Guru Padmasambhava the boomerang shield mantra. That's why Singamuka is Guru Padmasambhava's guru. And yet she's also his protector and yidam. This is why. Because Singamuka appeared and helped Guru Padmasambhava. She has the most ferocious boomerang shield mantra. And she said too, like I said yesterday, that the Golden Mother of our head temple is gone. It's okay. We still have the Golden Mother of Rainbow Temple, and also Golden Mother at the Tantric Quarter, and Golden Mother at the Southern Mountain. Also Golden Mothers here at the Homa Hall and in front of me here too. We have many Golden Mothers, not just the Golden Mother at the head temple hall. But the Golden Mother at the head temple is the greatest, the most responsive, and the most marvelous, remarkable Golden Mother. So what you said did not count. What I said counts. Very simple. Golden Mother. See, she has come, hasn't she? So what I said counts. She's right here in front of me. How could she claim that she's gone? So you're just bragging. Let's not talk about you anymore. Now let's talk more about Lamdre. There's one more thing I want to tell X. Golden Mother descended to Hualien, Taiwan, and her head temple is the Hui Tang. And the Golden Mother of that Hui Tang temple was blessed by me. Who accompanied me to the head temple of Golden Mother? Lianzi. Reverend Bien. So when I blessed Golden Mother, were you there? Yes. So the Golden Mother at the head temple of Hui Tang was blessed by Grandmaster. So to tell you more clearly, so Golden Mother descended at that place. This is the head temple of the Hui Tang and the Wang Mu of the Seng An Gong temple. So Golden Mother Jin Mu and Wang Mu, the Sovereign Mother, is the same. Because Golden Mother is from the West, that's why she's also referred as the Golden Mother. Now let's talk about Lamdre. Dharma reliance. What Dharma is relied upon by practitioners with potential. It is like a flower and its fragrance. They are occupying the same space. And no difference. They use flower and the fragrance as the analogy. Flower and the fragrance of the flower. Can they be separated? No. They can't. They are inseparable. There is no fragrance without the flower. When there is a flower, there is the fragrance of the flower. They are not the same, but they are also not different. So the flower and flower fragrance are not the same. However, they are also the same, because without flower, there is no fragrance. When there is a fragrance, there is flower. So this is the Madhyamaka, the middle view of Nagarjuna. Not the same and not difference. If you study and talk or teach according to Madhyamakas of Nagarjuna, then that's Buddha Dharma. So what is this? The Vajra bell. It's actually just a piece of bronze. And it's made into the form of a bell, and the function is the sound, dang. So these three things are not the same, but they are also not different. So the copper or bronze, is it Vajra bell? No. Is it Vajra scepter? No. But without the Vajra bell and the sound, it can generate the sound, and that's its function. So that's called the material or the nature, is just the copper, and the form is the Vajra bell, and the function is the sound. It's the same in our Buddhist studies. Our body is the material, but inside the seed is the Buddha nature. And then once you practice the Buddha Dharma, you generate the light. So this is the not the same and not different, and this is the Madhyamaka of Nagarjuna. Now do you understand? So that's why it's called according relying on the body and the Dharma. So by relying on the Dharma, you can attain the Puti. You're relying on your body to attain Buddhahood or Puti. The disposition that gathers at the secret mind matures inside the body. Upon maturity, external environment exists. Also, those having the external environment are complete insight, and those who are complete insight also resides at the secret mind. What I showed you just now, the true nature of the material is copper, and the outer appearance is the bell, and the function is the sound. So it's this statement here. Sense of belonging. So in Lamdre, it said, Buddha nature, inside, contaminated, would become habitual tendencies or disposition. When the disposition matures inside your body and you're influenced by the external environment, and with the external environment, actually the outer appearance of your mind, and yet who's complete insight also reside at the secret mind. Nobody would understand with so many words, but if I show it this way, everyone now can understand. So the basic material or the nature is the copper. The Buddha nature is the copper, and the outer form or appearance is the human being, and the function is the kyang, the sound. That's the function. And if impurities contaminated, then of course your body is contaminated, the Buddha nature is contaminated, and the sound is contaminated. That's it. Now it's very clear with my explanation. Now, if we invite X to expound on Lamdre, you have to study Buddhism for a very long time, and you can only understand upon explanations by your gurus. But you instead talking to dogs, cats, birds, turtles all day long. That's meaningless. Is that Buddha Dharma? No. That's just the languages of birds, dogs, cats, turtles. What's so big deal about that? That's not Buddha Dharma. You're just showing yourself off to deceive people, to deceive people. So if Sakyamuni Buddha is here, he would beat your head. What are you talking those about? For Buddhahood? This is just nonsense. Ask how the causal continuum form. The answer, if the potential doesn't have the affinity to stride toward the convenient or practical application of the Dharma, then it becomes the cause of rebirth. But if the potential has the affinity to stride toward the convenient Dharma, then it is the cause of abandoning suffering or nirvana. So if you don't encounter Buddha Dharma, then that's the cause of rebirth. But if you encounter Buddha Dharma, then that's the cause of nirvana and leaving behind suffering. So that's how you judge the causal continuum. In the senior home, there are two elderlies who are dating, and they knew each other for many years. And one day, the elderly man proposed to the elderly woman, would you want to marry me? And the elderly woman thought about it and replied, sure. And the next day, the elderly man could not remember what the elderly woman said, and called her. And the woman replied, I said yes. And the man was very happy. And the woman said, but I forgot who proposed to me. Good thing that you called me. So that's memory loss. The two elderlies had lost their memories. So one day, Grandmaster would lose his memory, and Simu too. And then, what would you do? What would we do? As soon as I leave the house, then I will not come back. Where would I go? I would travel around the world. And then one day, when I come back, Sumo would say, who are you? Memory loss. One time, the Emperor Qianlong asked Ji Xiaolan to jump into the river. And then Ji Xiaolan said that if the emperor wants me to die, then I would die. Then he just crossed the pole and came back out. And the emperor asked, how come you didn't die? Oh, because he met Xu Yuan, who jumped into the river, and said that because he met the a bad emperor. So Ji Xiaolan said, but no, my emperor is not bad, it's good, so that's why he came back out from the water. So Ji Xiaolan was really smart. I have read his book. So now do you remember what books had Ji Xiaolan written? Now I'm asking you, what books has he written, Ji Xiaolan? Please raise your hands. Oh, you check on your computers, on your cell phones. No, you can't cheat like that. I've read his books. 夜为草堂笔记 Notes of the moon, read the reading hall, I guess, the reading study hall. Notes from the reading study halls written by Ji Xiaolan. There were books that Grandmaster have read that you have not read. Grandmaster has read lots of books, also Buddhist books. I have read all of Tripitaka. But now I like to ask X, have you read all of Tripitaka? It must have been taught to her by the dogs. Oh no, then the dog would be me. There were 3 people went to the cafe to buy breakfast. One said, I want the steamed eggs without egg yolk. And the shopkeeper did prepare that. And yet the next person, I want a steamed egg without the egg white. And he made that too. And then for the 3rd person, he's already become impatient. So how about you? And he was scared and said, I don't want the eggshell. This is quite meaningful. Egg yolk, egg white, and eggshell. They are not the same. They are not one. The eggshell and egg white and egg yolk, of course they are not the same. But they are also not different because they are all connected. So this is the Madhyamaka of Nagarjuna. Eggshell, egg white, egg yolk. Not the same, but they're also not different. So Nagarjuna Bodhisattva was incredible. He comprehended the middle view, the Madhyamaka. His sutras were already remarkable. And then the great dragon Bodhisattva brought him to his familial place. Lachachona. Nagarjuna is the sacred name of the Nagarjuna. Naga meaning dragon, and Juna he was born under the Juna tree. So that's why he's called the Nagarjuna. So he's the guru, the patriarch of 8 schools. And the most important or the most famous one is Nagarjuna's Madhyamaka. And the treatises. All the treatises of Nagarjuna. And his disciple is Aryadeva with one eye. So the Madhyamaka, wherever you go, stays Madhyamaka. It's quite incredible. So the wife asked the husband, "Honey, if one day you lose me, well, how would you feel?" And the husband replied, "It's like meals or dishes without salt." And the wife said, "Oh, you're so eloquent that in your life, without me, then you have no more taste." And the husband secretly, softly said, "Fools, of course I will buy a bag of salt." So Nagarjuna's Madhyamaka is that the taste, salt, sugar, So if you have the knowledge of Nagarjuna's Madhyamaka on you, then you would be incredible. In the real life, that's also Buddha Dharma. And in the realm of enlightenment, that's also Buddha Dharma. Buddha, mind, and sentient beings, these 3 are not different. So the mind, the Buddha, and the sentient beings are not different. So can you comprehend this? So the mind, the Buddha, and the sentient beings are not different. And this is shown by Nagarjuna's Madhyamaka. Chai is the woods, rice, oil, salt, sauces, tea. I mean, all the daily necessities are no different. Let me tell you one more thing about Nagarjuna's Madhyamaka. There's a student. So a bowl is filled with poo of the pigs, and then you wash it clean, and then we put rice in it, and then give you to eat. Would you eat it? And the student said no. And then the professor said, you know, the bowl is guaranteed to be disinfected and cleansed. Would you want to eat it? And the student said, definitely no. And the professor was really shocked, but why did you eat the pig's intestine then? Because it's the same concept, right? It's the same thing. So if you understand Nagarjuna's Madhyamaka, then you would understand. It's just all in your mind. Because one thing you would eat, right? You would eat the pork's intestine. And inside it was the poo of the pig, right? It's just that it's been washed clean. You know, but the bowl is the same. So you place the poo of the pig inside the bowl and then you clean it, and then that's the same, right? So although the two of them were not the same, but they also were not different. So although they are not the same, they are also not different. It's the same theory, the same concept. You can eat them both. It's a joke, but it's also teaching you the Madhyamaka view. After school, the son said, "Mom, the teacher is even more stupid than I am." Hey, never said that. No, that's for sure. I can understand the teacher's writing, but the teacher cannot understand my writings. That's all for today. Om Mani Padme Hum.